Hi, this is Sherry Veronica. Mia Mottley's in your news. The acting chief of police, Boyce, he's in your news. I didn't see Corey Lane. Isn't he supposed to be the crime minister? I didn't see him, but the people running things in Barbados, they are showing up in your news talking about organized crime, gun attacks, and the lone wolf is no more a lone wolf. It's more organized, and they should have seen this coming. Their indoctrination factory should have allowed them to know what they're going to produce into their streets, into their society, into their cult. Sure, C-U-L-T, cult is the first word in that word, C-U-L-T, culture. Yeah, they should have known based on everything they have done that they were going to produce criminals. Okay, Mia Mottley should know that. She's an attorney, and you know that the attorneys, a lot of them steal and become not wealthy, but they can live on a hill while they're stealing your money, and then you are still bowing down to them. You think the maids in their homes don't go home and talk to their kids? You think the gardeners are not telling their kids, well, I work for this particular person who's supposed to be, such a big up, and they didn't pay me, or they're paying me pennies? You think people are not going to talk? You think that is not going to develop some sort of sore in youngsters, and you think it's not going to boil over? What world are you living on? Where are you living that you think that these things are not going to come up? It's going to boil over in the pot and the stove, and everything is going to be steam and fire and everything. It's going to come to a point where it gets out of control. The indoctrination factory has created people who are going to be out of control. You are not dealing with the rampant incest in homes. I've written books. I've talked to you about guys who, as adults, are still doing it with their sisters, and the sister was the first experience they've had. I talked about it. You hear about it in Barbados. You know about the secrecy. Keep your mouth shut. Whatever happened in this house remains in this house, and in the meanwhile the child is being destroyed. And if that child runs away, you put them in prison. You put them in a juvenile prison for running, help, and you put them in prison. You think that indoctrination factory was not going to spill out into your streets? You think that the guys who are hungry are not going to know that you have a fridge full of food? You think they don't know that? And because they don't have the wherewithal to go to college and to get a degree in whatever so that they can support themselves, they turn to selling drugs. And they'd be driving big cars, they'd be having big money, big drinks, because they want to be just like you. And they are just like you, but they're just doing it from the other end of the stick. You're stealing with your, with your outfit, the colonial outfit. These glasses do not look good on her at all. Angela Gittens, come on now. But, dressed up like the colonial masters. You think that the ordinary man on the street are not seeing that? That you still love the white man? You still want to be under the white man's control because you think the white man is rich and live in an ivory tower, and you think that the ordinary man does not want that for himself and his children too, but they go about it different ways. And people, when you talk about all this crime, people having kids in poverty, what do you think that is? It's like you having cells in your body. You know you have cells in your body, okay? And the cell is saying, oh, I don't have anything to do. Let me just multiply and take up space. And that cell multiplies and take up space, and the cells multiply. You call that cancer, don't you? Don't you call that cancer? When the cell just overtakes the area and just swells and just grows and then splits off and have babies and have other cells, and they just overwhelm a particular area, swelling, and then it explodes. It's called cancer. You call that cancer. So you think that you're having kids where you know you cannot support them, you cannot feed them, you cannot send them to school, you cannot take them on vacations, and it just swells and swells. You live in that little house and it's just swollen up with people in there. What do you think you call that? You don't call that a cancer? You don't think you have cancer? Oh, you don't think you have cancer? It's only cancer when it's inside your body. You don't see it, and the doctors have to cut it out. Okay, well, it's cancer. It's cancer. You're behaving. You're moving like cancer, okay? When you are doing something, but you really shouldn't. You're growing. You're having more of you. You're replicating yourself. You're having more and more and more, and you really shouldn't. You're taking up space, and you're eating food where the host needs that to survive. Okay, the country needs to have certain things to be able to be viable to survive, but you are depleting. You're depleting everything you just consume. And now with the organized crime and the gun attacks and everything else that's going on, it's a cancer on society. It's a cancer, but you don't see it. You don't see that the indoctrination factory, that it starts with your education system. Yeah, the segregation in your education system. Everything, all your chickens are coming home to roost. All of your chickens are coming home to roost. And I saw where your central bank governor said recently that your economy grew 3.7%, something like that. That even more than all the other big countries that are moving and shaking, and the movers and the shakers. And Barbados is saying, as expensive as things are there in Barbados, as hard as people are having it, you're talking about growth. So listen, your crime people are in the news, Crime Shift, and they're talking about it's organized at this point, organized gangs. They were saying there were only 2. Now they're talking about their gangs, and the police are saying to exercise caution in public because defiance is growing. Well, how long do you want to have your foot on someone's neck, and then when they push you off, you're talking about defiance? When someone tells you, I'm not taking it anymore, it's defiance. When someone runs away from home and they say, no, you're not going to put me in a prison because I ran from being abused at my house, that's defiance? You got that word wrong, man. You got that word wrong, okay? So I don't know what else to say about this article and her glasses and this acting. He's probably acting because he ain't doing shit. And then Mia Mottley, she lives in Sandy Lane or wherever else she lives. She don't live around poor people in Barbados. She don't live around you. So I don't know what else to say when these people are talking out all sides of their mouths and expect you not to notice it, expect you not to push their foot off your neck, expect you to just take it. They just expect you to take it. I don't know what else to say. This is Sherry Veronica.
Help me spread the word about Naked Departure via social media. Subscribe and share to show support and love for our channels.